Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa podcast. And as the title and the thumbnail says, the new Aston Villa. So we're going to deep dive into, on this episode, a little bit of a look into the new roles of everybody at Aston Villa, how they're going to impact Aston Villa, what does this mean, but a general vibe. I want to have your thoughts on what your feelings are on this new Aston Villa. It feels big, in my opinion. It feels really, really big. And the one thing that I said a couple of months ago is that Aston Villa have to back Unai Emery. And what I mean by that is it's so difficult to hire an elite manager, a manager who just gets you, who just completely gets the club from day one, and it just starts on that upward trajectory. Like, the love we have for him is just there, isn't it? He speaks, we listen. So to have that and to have this real good feel-good factor, and we knew he was a great coach, but he's come in and he's been absolutely amazing, and he's fired us into Europe, and we're 100% happy with him and 100% feel safe with him. We 100% back him and back his decisions, and we can't wait to watch the side play. And, you know, he's created a culture, a philosophy, a style of play, an identity. So with that, you have to give him the tools to do his job. Now, if we'd got Unai Emery and we'd kept with the same setup and we kept with the same model of signing players, and we just kept doing the same thing, it probably wouldn't work. We had to change the way in which the club worked, the way in which the club is, to become an elite club. And that takes baby steps. And I always said that I'll always be thankful of Dean Smith for everything that he did, because he started this journey. And that's really important to remember, the journey as well. And when people say, I hate the phrase project, but I kind of like it, because you're kind of working towards something. But now it feels bigger than that. It feels bigger than a project. It feels like Aston Villa, as opposed to these little mini projects here and there, like these little mini objectives. And the mini objectives were good because they got us to here. But now we don't have mini objectives. We have Aston Villa objectives. Qualify for Europe season upon season. Win trophies. That's Aston Villa. That's what Aston Villa's done in the whole of its existence. Yes, it's had periods of decline. You know, we've had periods where we've been relegated, not just from the Premier League, but in our history. We've had bad moments with owners leaving. But the fundamental thing of Aston Villa is we qualify for Europe, we are a European football club, and we win trophies. And we are that club, right? We are that club now. We've qualified for Europe. So it's about now having a bigger, broader, elite, sustainable model. And to do that, you have to have certain things in place. And that's why having someone like Monchy is really, really important. Having someone like Chris Heck, with his experience in America, is really important. So, like I said on the video the other day, just having Unai Emery here wouldn't have... It probably would have worked, but it wouldn't have worked long term, is what I'm trying to get at as well. We want now Unai Emery to be sort of like our Arsene Wenger, our Alex Ferguson. We want him to be here now for like the next 5-10 years. That's got to be the aim. So to have the fundamentals and the pillars all around him that are all working for the club, and the club's just working in this new way, I think it's really, really important. You know, it's really important that Unai feels settled. Unai feels, and I think this is important as well, Unai's learnt from Arsenal, I think. Unai's learnt from Arsenal that I can't just go in this club and rip it up and do it all on my own. I've got to have everything I need in place to help me to do it as well. And I think that's so important it's kind of great for him that we've got really good aspiring owners that are willing to open their visions out and incorporate what he wants and everything that he needs. But I think this has just been something that the owners have wanted for quite a while, and I think it's the right decision. So we're gonna have a look at the statement. We're gonna have a look at everybody's roles, and we're gonna see what everybody's roles are, and we'll give our vibes. So I want you to give your thoughts as well in the comments section down below. This is what we are all about over here. Your thoughts. So Nassef Suarez, chairman of AVFC. So all these titles are just mad. All these titles are absolutely mad. We are delighted to have Monchy joining us in this new position that consolidates all the football responsibilities at the group. Alongside Unai and his staff, Monchy's arrival will add to the world-class team we are assembling both on and off the pitch. He's, like Unai, a serial winner. With the appointment of Chris Heck on the business side, the new structure will ensure that the club will be firing on all cylinders on the commercial side, in addition to the football side, to ensure that the club's model is sustainable and positioned well to meet our growing ambitions. So that first phase is pretty much everything that I've kind of just said. Monchy's working on the football side, but it's this part at the end. The club's firing on all cylinders, which is just music to my ears, on the commercial side, to ensure that the club's model is sustainable and positioned well to meet our growing ambition. So keep getting Europe, winning trophies, job done. Monchy has said, I'm very excited to join Aston Villa, a great project which is striving for excellence from the under-9s to the top level, and I completely share the vision of Mr. Suarez and Mr. Edens. I'm also delighted and can't wait to work with Unai Emery again, one of the best managers in football. After enjoying so many years with success in Seville and winning European trophies in my lifelong club, I look forward to building on recent success at Aston Villa and ensuring this colossal club continues to grow and improve. And, isn't that just great? Like, we just want to get big. We just want to grow. We just want to be better. Like, that's just the best feeling in the world as a Villa fan. Like, we're not one of these clubs that are just mundane, that are just stuck, just like swamping it out in like the pits of like the bottom end of the leagues or stuff. We're actively wanting to be better and grow and be one of the biggest clubs in the Premier League. Like, if we can't get excited about this and we can't embrace this, then I don't know what we can do. It's just amazing. Johan Lange will assume a key role as global director of football development and international academies. This ensures that his deep knowledge of the squad and the academy will improve cohesion and continued successful player development pipeline. So Lange's role has now changed, which is really important because he was touted to be going to West Ham. So Lange's very sought after, He's very, very sought after, and he's very good at what he does. And he's had a key role in assembling this squad. He's had a key role in assembling what goes on off the pitch as well with football. But I think he's actively looking for new challenges as well. And I think this one will. And it's not. He hasn't been downgraded. He's got a new role at Villa. So I think that's something to remember as well, that his ambition is not just to stay doing the same thing. He wants to broaden his horizons as an individual. So I think that's something worth remembering about Lange as well. But now his role has changed. So he's going to be Global Director of Football Development in International Academies. Now, this is interesting because this has got me now thinking about the Victoria Club, the club in Africa. So he's now also going to be developing youth, and I think he's going to have a key role in this pathway from all of these different football clubs that we own as well. So I think he's got a really, really big big job, sorry. But I think we've now changed the way in which we do things now with Monchy. This is completely new to Aston Villa, how Monchy works. So we've gone with like a fresh approach. So you've all seen my episodes on Monchy, so go back and watch those. I'm not going to go into Monchy now because I've done 2 episodes on that. So for the way in which Monchy works, it's totally different to what we've got now. And then the other new one is Damien Vidagany, who has been Unai Emery's right-hand man anyway since he's come to Villa. He's been alongside Unai Emery. Now, he's now got a key role. So to complete the leadership structure, Damien Vidagany will assume the role of Director of Football Operations. He will work alongside Unai Emery to manage the day-to-day football operations, support Monchy in his responsibilities, and provide a link between the football organisation and the rest of the club's functions. Since joining in November, Vidagany has been Chief of Football and Unai's deputy. He previously worked in senior management positions at Valencia Football Club between 2008 and 2017. So he was there when Emery was at Valencia as well. Monchy will assume his duties from July. So there we go. So Vidagany is now Director of Football. So I imagine he's going to be the one that is going to be going to the Premier League meetings as well. So that's pretty interesting. So Vidagany is now Director of Football. So it's a complete restructure from Aston Villa. And we haven't spoke about Chris Heck, have we? So Chris Heck, head of business. So he's like the commercial aspect side of things and the business side of things. And I think this is a clever one, from Villa. Because there was talk, wasn't there, last week, of the Premier League instilling a salary cap. Now, he's worked with Philadelphia over in America. And America strongly works with salary caps, doesn't it? So this is going to be a savvy appointment from Villa. Because if those salary caps come into the Premier League, we've got someone in prime time position who has worked with salary caps from day one. So if they come into the Premier League, which I imagine they will do eventually, we've got someone who knows what they're doing. So I'm pleased with that as well. But, what's his role? Grow the brand commercially. That's what he's got to do. Grow it commercially, with sponsorship, getting Villa in certain areas of the world and all that type of stuff. So, so I think he's got a big role as well. And it feels like it's now being spread out to specialists. Heck, Monchy, Unai, Vidagany, Lange. So it's all now been mapped out. And we are just a new Villa now. So it feels fresh. It feels a vibe. It feels like we've sort of remodeled, but really thought about the direction that we want Villa to go in. And I think that's really important. And I think in the past it's felt like, and I've said this about transfer windows, we live for the next window, if that makes sense. And I think we need to now be a club with a model. And that's so important, that the model works and everybody just feeds off each other. Everybody knows their roles. So, I think it's so important for Unai, and I think it's so important for Villa now that we become this football club that Unai feels settled, I think was the next phase for me. So and the next phase now is to get some signings in. So, so I just thought I'd just come on, drop my thoughts on everything that's happened with the restructuring. Love to hear your thoughts. I don't think I've got any other Villa news, have I? No? Right, cool. So there we go. Just thought I'd just drop my thoughts on what's happened in the last couple of days. So glad that Monchy's here. You know my thoughts on Monchy. But yeah, I mean, if we can't get excited now, then I don't think we can ever get excited now. And I think this is now our time. This is our time. This is what I wanted. Like, I wanted us to pounce. I wanted us to sort of just say, do you know what? We got 7th. That we need to aim higher. We need to get higher. And I'm quite an ambitious person, and I always want to improve, and I always want to get better. And I think this football club is exactly the same. They want to get better. They want to improve. And I think if you want to do that, if you want to always excel, if you always want to be the best, then there's nothing that can stop you really. If you have higher standards, then I think that's a great mindset to have, really. So, So thanks everyone for watching this episode. Thanks for all of the support recently as well. It's been amazing. And up the England as well, up the Ashes. So cheers everyone. Up the Villa.